Fears that Ottawa is heading into a new financial emergency.
Superior.
Acting has always been a tough way to make a living. Fame is fleeting, rewards are scarce, and progress often depends on getting good parts in someone else's show. But Venture found a young couple who decided that if all the world's a stage, well, they would make their own. Audiences, they found their own, dishing up drama based on the real-life tales of business and industry.
Boom, 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 boom. It shall be the purpose of the section to promote a sense of environmental awareness. Boom, 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 boom.
These two are not goofing off at the office.
Here's your toxigram for the day.
Well, actually they are, but that's their job. Bob Kirk and Ellen Hitchcock are actors, but you won't see them in a Broadway play. When the lights go up on these two, it's in hotel ballrooms, and they're playing to tired business people coming off of a long conference.
All right. Well, we're getting some new brochures done up, and I'll send you a few up so you can keep on file if you want.
Kirk and Hitchcock are the founders and sole financiers of the 8-year-old comedy troupe Out of the Way Players.
Bye-bye.
For years, they eked out an existence on the college and cafe circuit. But that all changed 3 years ago when they stumbled upon the corporate circuit.
An artist has to find ways to make a living outside of, you know, being the struggling, starving artist. That, you know, it doesn't work. It doesn't really work anymore. So you have to find ways that are business ways.
Right.
To make your living.
So you market yourself, you go in and you sell yourself, you go through the steps just like any other business.
They charge $2,500 to custom design a live show that pokes fun at the client's business environment. Call it corporate therapy at a bargain basement price. For struggling performance artists, it's a dream niche.
Environment Canada is federal, and in the States, it's the Environmental Protection Agency.
It's a grueling business. Bob and Ellen develop, write, and perform one show a week, sometimes two. You can bet Shakespeare didn't have these deadlines, and they've got a nasty one on the horizon.
In here, they talk about dust controls and things like that, so what we could do
4 days to design a show for the Air and Waste Management Association. Their audience will be 200 engineers and scientists from both the private and public sectors. Their work is to find solutions to the environmental crisis. Make that funny.
I'm a waste extractor from a nuclear reactor. I'm a sucker truck from a sucker truck. I breathe the air and I look up there. It's the ozone layer, the ozone layer. Look up there, but don't you stare, because there's a hole in the ozone layer.
With little to go on except this dense file of technical material.
Understand that. You have to be a PhD to understand it.
Bob and Ellen have their work cut out for them.
They know their business so well. You know, we said what we can do is customize a show about your business. And, you know, you sit down and you start reading the material and you realize it's another language.
206.
And it doesn't take long for them to run up against the wall of this client's complex terminology.
Oh, MB.
MB.
850 MB GMT temperatures.
It still doesn't say what it is, what it stands for.
Sometimes they reach for easier laughs.
How about Hagersville? Hagersville was just a little weenie roast that got out of control.
Even if it's in questionable taste.
Why not?
As the hours grind by, one wonders when they find the time to run their business. They set 1 day aside per week to try to keep up. But comedic improv is what these two do best. They can't help but run their company the same way.
I don't know. Client meeting.
This job description is what they came up with when Venture asked them what their business plan was.
So this is being organized, but do you have a business plan?
Yes, we do have a business.
Success. Actually, a business plan, which I got a call this morning from our accountant, which I didn't tell you guys, I forgot also, that right now, for the first 2 quarters, like the first half of the year, all the contracts and everything that we have right now, we surpassed last year's whole year of our grossing.
Yeah, in our first quarter.
In our first quarter.
Yay, all right.
So we made, in our first quarter.
We do have a business plan. This year is going to be better than any other year we've ever had.
That's right.
It may not hurt to have one. After total expenses, Bob and Ellen both take away about $330 salary from each show. But that's a prize compared to the average annual income of $12,000 for a Canadian actor.
Canco could be anything, couldn't it?
Bob and Ellen now have half the show written. Upstairs, production manager Scott Rennick doubles as transcriber of Ellen's messy scripts.
And here's Mr. Stupid at home pouring paint thinner down the drain.
It's not exactly Phantom of the Opera, but it's coming together.
This invention happens once, one night, and if it's not good, you don't have tomorrow to come back and fix it. It's over. It's gone. So it's a one-shot deal.
Recycle me! Recycle me!
It's 2 days before the show, and the first chance Bob and Ellen have had to rehearse it.
Oh, shut up, Billy. Just shut up.
There are still some rough spots. Bob and Ellen may be playing Russian roulette with their business because they rely on word of mouth to snare future jobs. It is an inexpensive form of marketing, but it really does mean they are only as good as their last show.
One other aspect of the Clean Air Act,
Toronto's Skyline Hotel.
191 chemicals are
The Air and Waste Management Association is just wrapping up its conference on toxins, and the mood is serious.
What's an acid deposition?
Upstairs, it could be the high school cafeteria.
What? Who did that? Don't.
Jammed into this tiny hotel room, the troupe is restless. Musician Peter Tiefenbach acts as Ellen's quizmaster.
What does NAPAP stand for?
NAPAP? National Association.
Bob rehearses in the shower. After a last-minute warm-up, the nervous but hyped-up players are ready to go.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
It's showtime. The crowd is smaller than expected, but it doesn't take long to get them involved, no matter how silly they look. Some lines work well.
You're also totally nuts. Yes, you're mad, insane. You're a government worker. Yes.
Some bomb. Before they know it, the job is over. Audience reaction? Mixed. But out-of-the-way players is $2,500 richer.
Thank you. It was a great show.
Welcome. Thank you for all
So it's goodbye toxins. Next week, it's cheese slices for Kraft General Foods. Business moves right along, which leaves the question, how are Bob and Ellen going to run their business in the future?
We have our own business plan, but it's not a business plan that is written down on paper. I mean, we know where we want to go, and that's our business plan. And as things happen, we'll adjust to handle them as a business.
We'll improvise.